Hey everyone, welcome to the mysterious world. In the silence of the Egyptian desert, where the Nile's waters flow with secrets older than time itself, lies a temple forgotten by the world for centuries. Buried beneath sand and silt, its walls hold whispers of a powerful god, a divine protector, and ancient battles between light and shadow. This is Edfu, the Temple of Horus. But what stories does it still guard? And what mysteries linger within its stone halls, waiting to be uncovered? Deep in the heart of Egypt, between Luxor and Aswan, stands one of the most extraordinary and well-preserved temples of the ancient world, Edfu Temple. Dedicated to Horus, the falcon-headed god of protection, Edfu offers a remarkable glimpse into the grandeur and spirituality of ancient Egypt. Join us as we unravel the mysteries and architectural brilliance of this magnificent monument. Edfu Temple is one of several major temples constructed during the Ptolemaic Kingdom, alongside other notable sites like the Dendera Temple Complex, Esna, Kalmumbu, and Philae. Its grand scale reflects the prosperity of that period. Construction of the current temple began on August 23 to 37 BC, starting with a pillared hall to transverse halls and a bark sanctuary surrounded by chapels. It was initiated under the reign of Ptolemy III Euergetes and completed in 57 BC under Ptolemy XII Thales. The temple stands on the site of an older, smaller temple also dedicated to Horus, which was oriented east-west, in contrast to the north-south orientation of the current structure. A ruined pylon lies east of the temple, with inscriptions pointing to building activity during the reigns of New Kingdom rulers such as Ramesses I, Seti I, and Ramesses II. Within the inner sanctuary, a naos shrine from the reign of Nectanebo II, an artifact from an earlier structure, remains intact. The temple's bark sanctuary is surrounded by 9 chapels. Following Emperor Theodosius I's decree banning pagan worship in 391 AD, the temple fell into disuse as a religious site. Many of its carvings were defaced by early Christian followers who sought to erase what they saw as pagan symbols. The blackened ceiling of the hypostyle hall today is thought to be the result of fires set to destroy these images. Over time, the temple was buried under 12 meters of desert sand and Nile silt, with homes built directly over the site. By 1798, only the top sections of the pylons were visible when a French expedition identified the temple. In 1860, French Egyptologist Auguste Mariette began efforts to excavate the temple and remove the accumulated debris. Today, Edfu Temple is remarkably well-preserved and serves as an excellent example of ancient Egyptian temple architecture. Its state of preservation and historical importance make it a popular tourist destination, frequently visited by riverboats along the Nile. In 2005, a visitor center and paved parking lot were added to improve access, and in 2006, a lighting system was installed to allow nighttime visits. Despite being over 2,000 years old, it remains the most well-preserved temple in all of Egypt. This is due in part to its relatively late construction compared to the older temples of Karnak and Luxor, and its location, which kept it buried beneath sand and silt for centuries. Situated in the town of Edfu, this temple forms a key part of a series of revered edifices constructed along the Nile River. These temples highlight Egypt's profound relationship with its deities and the natural world. The Nile, regarded as the very essence of life in ancient Egypt, was central to this spiritual and cultural connection. The construction of these sacred sites along the river underscores the integral role the Nile played not only in sustaining Egypt's agricultural prosperity, but also in reinforcing the divine link between the gods and the natural forces that shaped the civilization. The temple's architecture follows the classical style of ancient Egyptian temples, with towering pylons that rise almost 37 meters high. These pylons are adorned with inscriptions and reliefs depicting Ptolemaic rulers and religious ceremonies, designed to awe and inspire all who entered. Every inch of this temple is covered in sacred inscriptions and detailed carvings that tell stories of the god Horus, his battles with the god Seth, and the eternal struggle between order and chaos. The temple was not only a place of worship but also a visual storybook for the Egyptian people, immortalizing their religious beliefs and royal lineage. As we proceed further into the temple, we encounter the grand hypostyle hall, an awe-inspiring space upheld by 12 massive columns. These columns are not merely structural, they represent the 12 hours of the night, symbolizing the passage of time and the celestial order. Within this majestic hall, priests would have conducted sacred ceremonies and rituals dedicated to Horus, the falcon-headed god. These rituals were essential for preserving the cosmic balance and ensuring the harmony between the divine and earthly realms. The hall, with its towering columns and intricate details, served as the central stage for maintaining the divine order and honoring the gods in their sacred abode. Standing before the north side of the court of the Temple of Edfu, the grandeur of ancient Egypt's architectural mastery unfolds. This expansive open-air courtyard was once a bustling hub of religious activity where priests and worshippers would gather to honor the god Horus. The towering columns that encircle the court feature intricate carvings of lotus and papyrus, symbolizing the unity of Upper and Lower Egypt. Above, the architraves are inscribed with sacred texts and royal decrees, linking the temple's patrons to divine favor. On this northern side, the temple walls bear reliefs depicting scenes of offerings, rituals, and royal ceremonies. These carvings immortalize the relationship between the pharaoh and the gods, ensuring that the king's legacy would live on through the ages. The harmonious balance of space and decoration in this courtyard reflects the order and precision that defined both Egyptian religion and architecture. As we approach the towering pylon of the Temple of Edfu, the massive doorway stands before us like a portal to another world. This grand entrance, flanked by two monumental pylons rising nearly 37 meters high, served as the symbolic gateway between the mortal realm and the divine. Carved into the stone are scenes of the pharaoh smiting his enemies, a powerful display of both royal authority and the protection granted by the god Horus. The door itself, once guarded by colossal wooden doors, was the threshold through which only the worthy could pass. Beyond it lies the sacred heart of the temple, a realm where priests conducted rituals to ensure the balance of the cosmos. Every step through this entrance was a step closer to the divine, with the towering pylons standing as eternal sentinels, safeguarding the mysteries within. At the core of the temple is the revered Holy of Holies, the innermost sanctuary where the statue of Horus was once enshrined. This sacred area was exclusively accessible to the high priests and the pharaoh, who alone were permitted to enter this hallowed space, believed to be the divine residence of Horus himself. Today, the sanctuary retains the original polished granite shrine, a focal point for offerings made to Horus during grand religious festivals. While the actual statue of Horus is no longer present, the profound sense of sacredness and the historical reverence associated with this space continue to resonate strongly. The shrine, even in its current state, preserves the spiritual aura of the rituals and divine presence that once filled this central chamber. At the heart of Edfu Temple stands the powerful figure of Horus, the falcon-headed god of the sky, war, and protection. Revered as the defender of Egypt, Horus is the embodiment of divine kingship, symbolizing the eternal struggle between order and chaos. His presence dominates the temple, from the towering statues at the entrance to the intricate reliefs on the walls, depicting his legendary battles against his uncle, the chaotic god Seth. Within these sacred walls, Horus is more than just a protector, he is the guardian of the cosmic balance, ensuring peace and stability for the land of Egypt. The temple itself was built in his honor, a lasting monument to his victory over evil and his unbreakable bond with the pharaoh, who was seen as his earthly counterpart. Every corner of Edfu whispers the legacy of Horus, the ever-watchful falcon, whose wings still stretch across the skies of ancient Egypt. Through these carvings, we see Horus' ascension to power, his strength immortalized in stone. His story is one of triumph, a reminder that even in the face of darkness, light will always prevail under the vigilant gaze of Horus, the Lord of Edfu. One of the most important annual events at Edfu was the Festival of the Victory of Horus, a reenactment of Horus' legendary battle with his uncle, the god Seth, who had murdered Horus' father, Osiris. This festival was a celebration of the victory of good over evil, and it symbolized the protection of Egypt from chaos and disorder. During the festival, priests would carry the statue of Horus in a grand procession from Edfu to Dendera, where he would meet with the goddess Hathor, symbolizing their divine union and reinforcing the harmony of the cosmos. Hidden within the sacred interior walls of Edfu Temple is one of the most intimate and powerful scenes in ancient Egyptian iconography, the breastfeeding of Horus. Here, we witness the goddess Isis tenderly nursing her son, Horus, a symbol of divine nourishment, protection, and the transfer of power from mother to child. This act is not merely a display of maternal care. It signifies the sacred bond that ensures Horus' strength to fulfill his destiny as Egypt's protector and avenger of his father, Osiris. Breastfeeding scenes like this one are common in Egyptian temple art, but in Edfu, it takes on special significance. Isis, the mother goddess, is imparting not just physical sustenance but divine authority, empowering Horus to rise as the rightful king and guardian of the nation. Through this symbolic act, the eternal cycle of life, death, and rebirth is reinforced, echoing the very foundations of Egyptian belief. For centuries, the Temple of Edfu was hidden beneath the desert sands, buried and forgotten. It wasn't until the 19th century that the temple was rediscovered by French archaeologists, who began the monumental task of clearing away the layers of silt that had accumulated over the millennia. Thanks to these efforts, Edfu Temple stands today as one of the best preserved monuments of the ancient world. Its walls, columns, and sanctuaries remain largely intact, offering an invaluable window into the religious life of ancient Egypt. The creation myth of the Temple of Edfu unfolds through several interconnected scenes, primarily depicted on the temple's interior perimeter walls. These scenes narrate the story of the world's beginnings when the earth was entirely submerged underwater. In a cosmic struggle between land and the primeval waters, the land began to emerge close to the surface. Reeds sprouted from this land, aided by a falcon and strengthened by the gods known as the Far and the Large. These reeds symbolized the seed of life for the Temple of Edfu, where Horus, in the form of a falcon, landed. A bird-like force approached and nourished Horus, marking the start of the sacred rituals at Edfu. During this creation process, the serpentine figure Apophis attempted to hinder progress. Although Horus trembled in fear, a harpoon and embodiment of the god Ta came to his aid, defeating Apophis and allowing creation to continue. A falcon formed the dome of the sky, its wings stretching from horizon to horizon, and the sun began its daily journey. The first Temple of Edfu was then designed by the gods Thoth and Seshat, responsible for wisdom and writing, respectively. The temple was initially built not from stone, but from reeds, following the divine blueprint. The foundation of the temple involved several key rituals. First, the ground plan was marked through the stretching record ceremony. Once construction was completed, the king presented the temple to a triad of gods. To protect the temple from external threats, 60 gods formed a living wall around the sacred structure. Today, Edfu Temple continues to draw visitors from around the world who come to experience its majesty and spiritual significance. The great falcon statues at the entrance remind us of the enduring legacy of Horus, the protector of Egypt, and the timeless stories that have shaped the culture of this remarkable civilization. As we depart from the sacred site of Edfu, we take with us a profound appreciation for the ancient Egyptians' unwavering dedication to their deities, their remarkable architectural achievements, and their relentless pursuit of harmony between order and chaos. The Temple of Edfu represents far more than mere stone and engravings. It stands as a profound testament to humanity's enduring aspiration to forge a connection with the divine. It is a place where the realms of history and myth converge, and where the echoes of ancient Egypt continue to resonate, offering us a glimpse into a civilization that once sought to intertwine the spiritual with the tangible. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Edfu Temple. We hope you enjoyed this tour of the magnificent Edfu Temple. Hit that like button and share with your friends. Be sure to subscribe for more in-depth explorations of ancient history and archaeology.